Hey everyone, welcome to the High Performing Woman Talk Show. I am your host, Susan Treadgold, and on this podcast, I highlight the many amazing female founders and female funders that are out there creating positive impact. The episodes live on YouTube, so please do like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the episode. Now, today's topic is about how to lead high impact, high growth companies. And, I honestly can't think of anyone better than Coco Sellman to take on this topic. She is a 5-time founder, impact investor, and former CEO who built a leading pediatric home health company and then had a successful exit through acquisition. She is founder of A Force for Good, and I actually have the book as well, which is an amazing read. She helps visionary women build companies that harness exponential technologies without losing purpose, people, or soul. So Coco, welcome. To kick off our conversation, could you please give us an overview of the system and how it addresses common challenges like growth plateaus and founder dependence?
Hi, Susan. It is such a pleasure to be here with you today and with all of your listeners and subscribers. I'm honored to be here. So, thank you for this wonderful introduction. I am honored to share with you what I've learned over 5 companies of building and one successful exit through the Force for Good system. So the Force for Good system I'm a methodology thinker. I am a flywheel developer. Whenever I create something in a company, I'm always asking the question, how can I leverage this moment in time and thinking for the next moment that this same problem is going to come up again? And how do I create systems and tools around thinking? And as a founder, I do that so that everyone can work together. And, so in a healthcare company, it's questions like, how can I make sure everybody on the company follows the best regimens around clinical care and quality assurance, and how can I make sure my recruiting team is doing all the right things? So when I developed the Force for Good system, which has been really a development process over 25 years, I've been building a model for how to lead companies, how to go through the various stages of scale. And what I've learned is that there's very different behaviors and needs of a company, and the role of the CEO evolves between that existence stage to when you're in survival mode, and then onto scaling and onto impact. And in the Force for Good system, we talk about those steps of scale. And what mostly happens for companies is they get stuck in the survival stage. And that's a stage where there's growth grows slowly. It's 10%, 20% growth. It's hard to make those double 2x, 3x growth spurts when you're in that survival stage. At the survival stage, you're also usually the founder is super dependent on, there's dependence on them to make the choices. I always like to think of them as being at the center of the wheel rather than at the rim of the wheel where the momentum is. They're in the middle making all the decisions, so the company can only spin as fast as the individual founder can. And what I like to do with the Force for Good system is help put things that are at the center, like purpose and vision and team rituals that allow the system to spin and the founder to step back and be able to be more of a present guide. And early on, the founder is doing a lot more things, but in order to get to that place of survival and then onto scale, the founder has to step back. And so the way that we do that in the Force for Good system, the primary tool is the 4-page growth plan. And that is a 4-page plan for growing over 10 years. So, and it then really distills down to what you need to do this year and this quarter, but it helps you really see your purpose as the primary driver, and then who your customer is, what your customer needs, and the products and services you sell, and what makes your company profitable, along with what your funnel is, how you're growing your company. And then you translate it into a 10-year plan. So your 10-year impact, scale, and profit growth goals. And then you translate it into what you're going to do in 3 years, what you're going to do in 12 months, and then quarterly. And finally into KPIs. So the system is mapped out on 4 pages. And what we do is we help founders quickly iterate so that you're thinking systemically rather than for a long time about one thing or another, which is what we tend to do. And it helps you create quick breakthroughs in innovation, which is what you need early on. And then as time goes on, you meet with your team weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annually, and you continue to iterate. And what happens is you find ways to really bucket out of growth. You create big leaps, which we'll talk about later on. I know that Susan's going to ask me about breakthroughs, and there's a science to breakthroughs. So I look forward to introducing all of this to you at A Force for Good.biz.